Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Ona again on top the Ogbonge How Market for Broadstreet Radio, your number one business radio. And as usual, we dey carry people wey be say they don't do mighty things for their businesses come so that they go give us the background of how they take start and where dem dey, and then they go fit ginger and motivate others wey wan start that kind business wey dem dey do. We don bring several people come. We don bring Babatis come. We don bring Baronia Kitchen. We don bring the Purple Linen. And today, oh my goodness, today e get another ogbonge person wey we carry come. But before I go introduce am, make I ask una this simple question. Shey una like confirm fancy handcraft bags? Abi una wan learn how to make am? Well, I no sabi do the business. The person wey sabi do am dey inside the studio. And in a very short time, in a twinkling of an eye, I go introduce my guest to una. But before that time, make I remind una, make I inform una, say na the Baronia Kitchen na im dey sponsor this how market. The Baronia Kitchen dey for number 27 Adenira Ogunsanya Street for Surulere. And na a la carte dem dey do. Meaning say once you enter there, dem go prepare wetin you wan chop and deliver to you in a very short time. Having said that, for those of una wey dey watch me, I dey give una bosa. Una dey do well. Those of una wey dey always follow, those of una wey dey like, wey dey comment, wey dey share, I dey see una handwork. Those of una wey dey watch us from Obodo Oyibo, UK, Canada, and UAE, and other countries, I throw a salute to una. Now, make I come back inside the studio. The person wey dey inside the studio with me, oh, ladies and gentlemen, in name na Victoria Peace Chimezie, and na she be the MD and CEO of NVP Fashion World.
Thank you for having me here. But let me correct something.
Oh yeah, correct her.
I don't like going by the title MD or CEO. I just like creative director, because when you say CEO, you be like now one big person in the show. Just creative director. But thank you for having me.
Ew. I don't want CEO, creative director. At the end of the day, now she get the business. So what are we not talking about, my people?
Oh my God.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I hope you are enjoying our Nigerian economy and the whole environment.
In as much as we are seeing it, we cannot complain. We just have to pray for something better to come up.
It's okay. Very quickly, my people. Make I just throw this one. I no tell her say she go do this one. This one go shock her. You fit sing the new national anthem. My country people, how market? Oh, make I not even for myself a hand, because myself I still dey learn my own. So now let us come back into the main thing.
Okay.
Madam NVP.
Yeah.
I see for your post one time say you don't reach 10 years for your business. And I can't reason that 10 years pikin go don enter, you go don the secondary school now, meaning say the person go don gather enough energy. So I want make you just give us in a short, brief, I'm not going to call on sermon, I know say you be pastor people, but I don't want to call on sermon, in a very brief, this thing, give us your background story, how you don't take come from year 1 to year 10.
Okay, well, thank you once again, Broadstreet Radio, for this opportunity. So 10 years in business.
Yeah.
10 years in business has not been easy, but first of all, we'll say God is our sponsor. God has been the strength behind it.
Yeah.
Year 1, how we started. Okay, so I'm from Abia State.
Okay.
And the only girl of my late dad. And how we started was I just got interested in craft, like just making things with my hands and being at home, my room, I'll just go pick up my mom old purses. Bear in mind, I never liked carrying bags.
Okay.
Going to the market, if I want to go to the market, it's just my backpack I'll use. I don't like anything I have to carry on my hand. So it was not like I had a passion for it before.
Yeah.
But then suddenly I started getting this interest in making things with my hands. And that was how I started. I would get my mom's old purses and remove the purse to see how it was created.
Okay.
And then I tried to couple it back again. And it just became a passion. It became a thing for me.
Okay.
1 year turned into 2 years, and I got into school, learned about entrepreneurship in one of our courses, and I said, okay, this thing can actually make sense later on, because then doing Ankara bags and Ankara shoes and whatever, it was like you were being overboard. You were doing too much.
Yeah.
I was really shy going out with bags and all those things made with Ankara, but people were like, this thing, convincing people that this is actually going to be a good thing was hard. But now look at it, it is the trend in the market. So 10 years, this is it. This is 10 years for me.
Wow, 10 years. That means you never liked carrying bags.
I never liked carrying bags.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Producing bags.
Producing bags.
And you have to carry the bags.
That's the only way I can showcase my work.
I think I see a trend with business owners. The last person that came does not like to wear purple. But then her name was Purple Linen.
Okay.
And here we have a creative director of bags who didn't like to carry handbags but now makes handbags. I think there's something around. I will do a research on that and I'll bring it to this how market. So, Madam MVP. Yeah, so these 10 years passed. I also have seen on one of your posts that you gave out your product to a client who was requesting that you send samples. And then when they got this sample, they were saying, give us the one that you made by yourself. That this one, they don't want the one
I showed them. It was funny because, aside the fact that I also didn't like carrying bags, I'm also a shy person.
Wow.
But business has made me come out.
Okay.
So, but even till now, selling my products to people, like going to meet somebody and say, oh, I make bags, is rare. I prefer you come to my shop or we meet at a fair. It's easy for me there. So this person, I saw him and I saw, this person looks like a potential customer. They would like what I do. So I reached out, showed, this is what I do, and the person looked at the picture. Too good to be true. The picture looked like it was, this thing was not made in Nigeria, much less by you.
Yeah.
And he just turned and said, bring the, people like to see what they are buying. Bring the one you made. I was shocked. I got home, I was still thinking about that statement. I felt it was like a two-way feeling. One, I felt like, that means I've gotten to a level where people would see my work and not believe it was made by a Nigerian or in Nigeria. But then I also felt bad that we Nigerians are now doubting that something good can actually come out. It means that we depend so much on importation. We depend so much on goods made outside the country. We feel standard and quality can only come from outside the country. So I just felt bad. And well, it's what we face sometimes. We face those kind of things in the market. And my own work is to ensure or try to convince these people that no, we are for real. This is what we do. It is what we make. It's our product. We are proud of it. So that's just it.
Wow. So aside from this thing that you mentioned, are there other issues and challenges that you feel that is needed to be tackled so that it can actually help Nigerian businesses grow? Because you mentioned that there is a mentality that importation is more authentic than locally made
made
products.
Okay, so one of the challenges is government, like in total, like government, we are our leaders at the top.
Yeah.
The people with the money, they give in too much with goods made. It's not like these goods made outside Nigeria are of no value. No, these are some of the good products that inspire us. These are some of the brands that also inspire us. But then, if you want the economy, like now we are facing economic downtown. If you want the economy to grow,
Yeah.
there are so much. Nigeria is filled with so much creativity. Like we have big people doing good things, small people doing good things, and if the leaders are not even supporting made in Nigeria product, talk more of people that okay, they just can buy any small thing. Is you're importing shoes, you're importing bags, you're importing dresses. Meanwhile, there are people here that can actually do this and do this well. We can, if given the chance, I believe that some of us can even stand head to head with all these international brands if given the chance. So these are the kind of things that affect us. Now, another thing with government is this exchange rate of a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's terrible because some people feel like, oh, what does it have to do to make your bags here in Nigeria? But then everything down to the needle we use is being imported.
Okay.
It's been imported. So now, as the foreign exchange rate is going higher, the prices of these things are going higher as well. And some businesses cannot even afford, again, they can't afford to meet up with the increments. Some of them have to go out of business. Some of them just have to pause. And then the other ones that can afford are even like doing it through their necks, through their noses and all of that. So the foreign exchange rate, the tax rates. I remember the other time a vendor of mine that sells bag accessories to me, she buys from China. She complained that what she uses to pay to clear her goods is like almost the same figure used to purchase the goods.
Wow.
So by the time it gets to us, we suffer it. So if the government can actually do something about this, I don't know how they can, but it's sad that in a country, almost everything we use is paid for in foreign currency. It's just sad. It affects us. Another challenge we have is the funding.
Okay.
Getting funds as a business is tiring. You know, I was telling someone recently that I'm tired of hearing motivational speakers saying, "Oh, with this you can start this." How did you get that you can start with this? Like, how did you get it? That's what businesses want to hear. That's what small businesses want to hear. How did you get that money that you use in starting your business? You can't just say, "Oh, I made a business. I started with 1 million, or I started with 500K. I started with 50K." How did you get the 50K? Some businesses do not. Some business owners do not even have a sponsor or someone to fall on that would get that fund. In fashion, for example, the trends are changing. Like what we did last year is different from what we are doing now.
Okay.
And all these things, we can't just make it using the old machines. When I started, I had just one manual machine.
Okay.
And then I wasn't using the manual machine to make the bags. I was only using it like maybe to just do like a run through.
Okay.
And it got to a point, different kinds of designs started coming up. Those kind of designs I could not use manual machines.
Okay.
I had to now start getting an industrial machine. I got an industrial machine. After about 2-3 years, I saw that there was another industrial machine. People, and I'm like, how are businesses coping? How do we, in order for us to meet up with the trends, we need to improve in our own self, improve in production, improve in quality. The only way we can do this is if the funds are there. So how do we get the funds? They are talking about BAE, BOI, government has made these funds available, money available, but how many people actually have access, if not to lobby? So funding is also part of it. I'm very sure that businesses are facing that. I, for one, sometimes I would have maybe like 100K in the morning by 8 a.m. and I'm feeling like, there is money in my account, business is moving. But by 7 p.m., you can see like maybe 1 naira left in the account. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do any exorbitant spending.
Yeah.
And I wonder if businesses are facing that kind of thing, or if I'm the only one facing it. Because by the time you now look at the breakdown of the expenses, you see that you've bought fuel, you've bought leather materials, you've bought Ankara materials, you paid for lights bill, you paid for your local government shop bill, you pay for extension bill, you pay for this, you pay for this. You didn't even buy anything for yourself. Then you have to now pay for data to follow up with customers. And at the end of the day, that's how 100K went off. And I'll just ask myself, the business, is it that I'm the only one that face this, or the other businesses that face it as well? So all those kind of things affect us. They affect us. Then the last one for me is patronage.
Okay.
The kind of job we do. For the past 10 years we've been in business, I think my first major customer was from the US.
From the US?
From the US, my first major customer. I got her when I think in the year 2016. That was like my second year, my third year of doing business. And that was like my first, before then I've been struggling to
convince
Nigerians that this thing is good. But then people out there are already buying. And it's sad because if we can balance that level, if the same number of outsiders are the same, like that purchase from us matches with the same number of insiders that purchase from us, I think it will be good. It will be good because it's hard that, okay, what you're doing here in Nigeria, it's an outsider that is seeing
the value
and appreciating it. But then you show a well-crafted bag to someone in Nigeria and the person is telling you, okay, let me pay you 3,000 naira for it. And I'm like, what? Is it for your baby? Is it for me? So
wow.
It's easy to convince the outsiders to tell them this. You don't even need to convince them. Sometimes they reach out to you and say, I want to make this kind of bag. You make it, this, that. And then you just sell. But then you have to now start convincing your own person. Don't worry, the leather will not peel. Oh, the leather will not do this. Oh, the leather. There was a day I had a customer that bought an Italian pot. She bought it when she traveled. She bought an Italian pot. She had not used it. And the leather was already peeling.
Okay.
By the time she came here to Nigeria, she had not used it. She now reached out. I told her I cannot do anything. Not that I cannot do anything, but I was here. You went to go and buy from Italy.
Okay.
So and I don't want to say that I don't say anything bad about any international brand, but then, like I mentioned before, some of us are now at the stage that we can rub shoulders with these people if given the chance. If the government decides to invest greatly in the businesses here in Nigeria, shoemakers, bag makers, dressmakers, the economy will blossom. That's what the government they know it, but let's just say.
Okay, from what you just said, especially on this patronage, you mentioned that there are some of the things that the people say, like the doubts they have for the kind of value that Nigerian made products are. So what are some of those things that they actually say when you present your own brand to them, and what are those things that they use to compare the Nigerian made brand with the international brand? So let's see if it's something that actually can be tackled.
Okay, so some of the things that customers say, like for leather bags, their first question is, will the leather fade? Or the leather, is it quality? And we try to tell them, okay, yes, there are different qualities of leather.
Oh yeah.
Depends on your budget. Now, there are leather bags that we've made with low budget that has been, when I want to preach what I sell, I have practiced it.
Okay.
I have bags that I've made with low budget leather that I'm still using. I've made it for like over 5 years and I'm still using it, no issues. And I have bags that, okay, maybe they're not really good.
Yeah.
And I have bags that are premium. So when they give that concern, we try to tell them, okay, yes, there are different qualities of leather. It just depends on your budget. Don't look at it as, okay, it's made here in Nigeria. We actually do well in what we are doing. Then for Ankara bags, their concern is, oh, how do you clean it? Won't it wash? This and this. And we try to tell them, okay, these are the way we give them the guideline in how to clean your bags. We have what we call care instruction card.
Okay.
So when you purchase a bag from us, we put the card inside. So it shows you how to care for your bag, if it's Ankara, if it's Ashoke. And because of these concerns, well, over the years, MVP has improved in their design. We don't just make like bags just with maybe Ankara alone. We try to make the design a bit will I say all round.
Okay.
So that when you carry an Ankara bag out, it's not commonized like, oh, this is an Ankara bag. It's a bag.
Okay.
So that's what we try to do. So I don't know. Well, those are the concerns we've had from customers.
Okay, so these concerns, and you have actually answered the question, because I wanted to say will you tackle this, but then you have directly said that in your own brand, you have how to care materials in the bags for them to use. So you mentioned, and I have introduced you as the creative director of NVP.
Okay.
But then I know somebody will want to be asking, what is NVP? So tell us, what is NVP and how you got about NVP Fashion World?
Okay, MVP is like that's the initials of my full name.
Okay.
One for Victoria Peace.
One for Victoria Peace. Okay.
Okay, so it was when I wanted to register for the business. Someone just told me, "Oh, why don't you register your business?" I didn't have a clear direction of how I wanted the business to be.
Okay.
So, but it sounded nice that okay, I have to register. Let me just register, and I tendered 3 different names. I think I can still remember. One was African Fashion, and one was Lady Fab, and one was MVP. And I just put MVP as like it was the last option. I was not looking, because even before I went to register, I registered using Lady Fab in one of my posts like that. So, but when the selection came out, it was MVP that was selected, and since then, it just made sense.
NVP Fashion World. Okay, now to the question that I didn't want to miss out that MVP question.
Okay.
Then you mentioned designs and all of that. So how do you generate or create your designs?
Okay, so designing is one of the major parts in the business.
Okay.
In production, it is how we create our designs. Most times it's crazy.
Okay.
Because we have to sink ourselves in, like I detach myself. Let me now use myself as because I am the one that handles the design process. So I detach myself from the area, from where I am, from my present. I detach myself from my presence, and I just sink in and start like I'm already seeing how the bag is, attaching fabrics together, seeing the colors that will match. Sometimes I just sketch what I want.
Okay.
Other times I go through Pinterest. It's an app for most fashion people. So I go through Pinterest, and when I see other people's design, I try to like bring it out and say, okay, what can I do differently from what this person has done? Okay. So most times that's what it takes for us. But major of our bags, especially like we have bags that okay, when you see it, you see that okay, maybe it was inspired by a particular brand or something. But we have bags that were strictly designed, originated from MVP itself. Those are our signature bags, and I don't joke with it because it took us maybe weeks, months
to get the
design.
Wow. So are there some other elements that inspire your design? I have a fashion designer friend that most of her clothing, she says she gets from birds, parrots, peacocks, and when you see them, you can actually trace the origin back to those? Are there other elements like that that
Well,
you use to create?
I for one, I make use of fabrics.
Okay.
Now, unlike before, where we have just Ankara.
Yeah.
Now we have ashoke, we have jute, we have denim, we have mikado, we have. So sometimes I can just sit and say, okay, why don't we make something? I look at the fabrics and most of them now bust up with colors. It's not just the boring type that
Yeah.
they normally produce before. Now it's mixed with different colors. So I can be dramatic at times at work. I just tell my staff, oh yeah, bring out all these fabrics, to pour it on the floor. And as they are pouring it on the floor, I'm already picking. I've not touched it, but I'm already seeing what I can push together to make a bag. Some of our bags came out like that.
Wow. Okay. So now somebody is asking, because you mentioned that you were talking about funding and how you were upgrading machines to machines. So somebody is asking a question that they want to start up.
Okay.
And how would you guide them? What are the things that they need to get in order to actually make good bags? Like they are asking, we want to start this kind of business that you do. How do we go about it?
Okay, so if the person asking has already learned,
okay,
the person has learned, the person just wants to start up, the first advice I'll give is go back to where you learned from.
Okay.
Go back to that place you learned from and work with the person for a while. Go back to that place because I believe whoever thought the person already has been established or already has some of these machines on ground.
Yeah.
Now, when I was learning, I didn't have that opportunity.
Okay.
I was not taught how to make bags.
Really?
My dad would always say it was divine learning, divine teaching. I never went to a class to learn how to make bags. It all started from the house.
Wow.
So my growth process was from me. So every time I didn't have the opportunity to say, okay, I want to go to this lady's shop. Probably she was one that taught me, let me go and stay there and learn. So it was hard for me. I mean, I would not want to make it hard for someone else.
Yeah.
What I advise people to do is go to where you learned from. There has to be somebody, even if you didn't learn from that person, but you have someone that has access to all of these machines. It is not easy to get this. Some of these machines cost over 700,000 naira, and you're a startup. How do you want to get that kind of money? Unless you want to go into depression. And it's not advisable for say, okay, as a startup you want to take loan, because the loan facility here in Nigeria is not favorable to SMEs. Okay. So go to somewhere that already has these machines, already has these raw materials, or already has these facilities, and either you collaborate with them or you work under them. People don't want to work under somebody. They like that CEO, MD, they like being the boss of their own. Yeah. But the truth is, you can't grow alone. You have to grow with somebody. I keep telling people, if I had that opportunity to grow with somebody, I don't think I'll still be in this stage. Probably I'd have gone ahead, because unlike some people that have access to the funds, maybe from parents, maybe they had a job they were doing, a 9-to-5 job, or they won a grant. If you don't have the fund, don't kill yourself. Just go with your idea. What matters is that you have the creativity, you have the idea, you know your skill. Go meet somebody that has all of this and patch with the person. And as you patch with the person, you're building your portfolio. Okay. Because what you need to grow in your business is to prove to people that you can actually make something like this. For a year, I remember when throughout the year 2017, I made it a mandate for me to make clothes and bags every Sunday for a whole year. Every Sunday I was doing that so that I can have what to show people and say, this is what I can do. So if you have somebody that has these facilities, what you need to do is you need to make things, right? Make the things. So go there and make your things. You either pay or you whatever agreement you can reach with the person. Then as time goes on, the money, the funding, everything you need will just come in through.
Wow. So you are advising somebody who wants to start this business. So you who is asking this question, she's saying that go attach yourself to a place where they already have the resources, so that growing with them, you can actually get resources to start up your own. And then you mentioned in this last comment that if they had had somebody guide you in this thing, you wouldn't have been here. So now let me rearrange this question from there. So if you were to go back to, if you were to go 10 years back, with this experience that you have, if you were to rewind the clock and you are starting again, how would you attack this business differently from the way you have started and are running?
Okay, so if I have the opportunity to go back, I think one thing I would correct is playing with it.
Playing with it.
I spent like 3 years or 4 years playing with the business. I was just doing it for fun. I was not serious. I was not consistent. No, let me not say I was not consistent. I was consistent, but I didn't look at it as, I was not seeing the future in it yet.
Okay.
Because we are not much. It was, how do I put it? It was not rampant as it is now. It was looking like you're not sure. I remember one time my brother asked me, when you graduate, what do you want to do with your life? It was,
What do you want to do with
what
your
do you want
life?
to do?
Really?
You have to start applying for jobs, all those things. And I feel if I had taken
Enough?
taking it with enough seriousness
Yeah.
and all of that, probably he would not have asked me that question. But I know he asked out of concern.
Yeah.
So it was not like he was mocking, but it came from me. It was because I allowed it. Like, okay, I was just doing it like, it's just, when I got some customers then, but I was not following up the way I would attack a customer now. I didn't do that. And I know if I had done that before, maybe, just maybe, the growth would have maybe skyrocketed a bit. But it's not too late.
Wow. Okay, so I have watched some of your content, and some of the times you celebrate your staff, and
Okay.
some of the times you just do paparazzi in there. And then I see that majority of your staff are females. And I'm like, why is it that it's only females? Are there no guys that are actually interested in this business?
Well, I honestly don't know. I once had a guy,
Okay.
but then the thing with guys is they have this how do I put it? They have this I need to provide for my family tendency. Like, they have that thing in them.
Okay.
So, and one thing with business is patience.
Yeah.
You need patience. And guys, or the guys I've met, they don't have that patience to stay put and learn. They want something that
Sharp,
will be giving them the money.
fast food kind of.
I remember the guy that came, he was actually trying, he was doing his best, but then the pressure from the home, oh, you need to make money, or you need to take care of your siblings, pushed him to go get a job. So some of them, that's their issue. I have a friend that makes shoes,
Yeah.
Belinda Craft, and also she makes even men's shoes, but most of her apprentices and staff are females. So maybe it's the woman's world after all.
Wow. Let me drink water first before because I have Okay, because I believe so. That means because what you are trying to paint now is that the guys are more of salary earners kind of than business,
And
and
business.
like this craft business owners.
Yeah, but I've seen brands are owned by men. Fashion brands are owned by men, but I don't know why it's happening like this for some of us here that guys don't want to come in.
Wow. Okay.
And sorry, let me add this. And
Yeah.
some guys also have this ego thing. They don't want to they don't want to be thought by a female. I had an issue recently with one of my staff.
Okay.
I employed a male tailor, and an issue came in, and he said he just came up with the word, "You're a girl, I'm a girl, and he's a man." And I was like, what's that supposed to mean?
Are you serious?
I pay you, so how is it that I'm a girl and you're a man? So some of them have that. Some, they don't want to stay under a woman. They feel it's below. It makes them feel less of a person. But it's not my fault that I learned how to make bags.
Wow, that guy must be very bold to actually confront you with that kind of thing. Okay, so this last question before the last question. Now you in that one you answered about somebody who wants to start, you only highlighted the one who already learned the business. So what of the person who
wants
to just start from the scratch?
Okay, so I have people that come in every time, and they come into the store and say they want to learn. Now, I'm a very fan of money. Like, I'm a big fan of money. I like money. So when you give me money, I take the money. But then I don't like taking money that will choke me.
Okay.
So the first question I ask this person is, are you interested, or were you pushed to come here? Or did you come here because your friend is doing the same thing, maybe here or elsewhere? That's the first question I ask someone that wants to learn. You say, okay, I want to learn. Because I've seen people that come in and they're like, they want to learn, and after 1 month, you start looking for them. And I've seen people that come in, and after a week, you see the burning desire in them. So the first thing you should narrow it down, ensure that it is you that is truly interested in this, not that your parents or your siblings or your friends are pushing you, or not because it's trendy.
Okay.
You have to go beyond that to agree with yourself that, okay, this thing is what you want to go for, because it starts with you. If you're not certain about your line of you want to learn, maybe it's clothes or it's bags or it's shoes, if you're not sure of it, you only end up wasting my time, your time, whoever is going to teach you. So it has to start with that interest.
Okay.
Be sure, and then you have to be consistent. Our job has to do with a great deal of consistency. Consistent in showing up every day. Consistent in practicing what you're being taught. Consistent. Ensure that you don't. Yes, it's hard. It gets hard sometimes. Even for us that maybe we are at this small level, it still get hard for us. But that consistent, you just have to keep pushing and trust God in the process. You need to trust God. If you don't trust God, you're on your own. So those are the things. For me, those are 3 key things I ask my people when they want to come and say, "Oh, I want to learn." If you're not interested, just go back.
So interest is the first thing for anyone who wants to start the business, so that when they get into the job, they are not pushed away by the growth process of the business. All right, finally, before I ask you the final question, I have seen some of your movements in trade fairs. I've seen you in Lagos, and I know you were within Lagos. But then recently, I saw you in a very far away land from Lagos. I saw you in Edo State.
Okay.
So what is that ginger that made you say, let me leave this Lagos zone and go and cash out in Edo State? Because it takes a strong heart to do that kind of thing.
Yes. Okay, so first, I want to grow.
Okay.
I want NVP to grow beyond the shores of Lagos.
Okay.
Yes, we send our bags outside Nigeria, but it's not it for me. So when I got the opportunity to go outside Lagos and go and sell in another state, it seemed like a big deal for me.
Okay.
Whether I was selling in bulk or I was selling in pieces, it seemed like a big deal. I've left Lagos before to go and teach,
Okay.
but it's different. That going there, okay, I'm going there and it's like I'm going with the entire people of MVP. I'm going there to sell, carry the craziness that I have here in Lagos and go. So I've always wanted to expand.
Okay.
And I had this thought that, okay, what stops me from getting a store outside Lagos? I have branch here in Abuja selling my bags. I have branch here in Calabar. I have branch here in Enugu, all those places. It starts from the little. And when Nigeria Branch started taking her fairs outside Lagos, I felt if somebody like this can do it, what's stopping me? I can actually do it as well. The only fear is the roads are not really safe like that. If not, when she went to Kano, I followed her to Kano. So any opportunity to just put the business out there, I would gladly take it. Any opportunity I get to put the brand out there, I'll take it. Be it in Lagos or any other place.
So if they put up a fair in Maiduguri right now,
if they can assure us of security, I don't mind. If they can assure us of security, I remember she's also going to do one in Abuja.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about it. It's just the safety. It's just safety that is the thing. Left for me, I'll go to all the states in Nigeria. Let everybody know what MVP is about.
Wow, I like this, your passion. To go to all of the states. Okay, no problem. I'm sure you're going to do that. Now, this last question is about NVP.
Okay.
So, but before I ask it, how did you feel? Because I saw a picture you were doing a throwback of your 10 years journey, and I saw you in front of a magazine. So, how did you feel when you got that kind of attention?
It was exciting. I remember the day before the paper was to come out, the publisher had already told me, okay, your interview is going to show in the next morning paper. Just go buy the paper. She had already sent me an e-copy in my mail, but it's not the same as holding the paper. So first thing the next morning, I rushed to that stand where they sell newspapers, and I just bought it. Looking at it, I was excited. It was even more exciting to me because I had not even started.
Okay.
It was the same year I started the business that I got the interview. I had not started, and for someone to recognize me at my early point, I think her name is Zizi Wright, if I'm not mistaken, recognized me at my early point. I felt excited, and my mom took it overboard. She got an extra copy and sent it to the village. Show people. She called so many people. Vicky was in the newspaper. It was exciting. I think I still have a copy of that paper in my mom's box. So it was really exciting because, there are so many people that are doing good things.
Yeah.
And not being recognized. Just one form of recognition will push that person. So many of us are doing good things, and if they get the opportunity, if we all get the opportunity to be recognized, whether in government, in public, in private, in church, it means a lot. So that's the thing.
So with this now, I am giving you a 60 seconds opportunity to sell your brand NVP, and your time starts now.
Okay, people of Lagos, people of Nigeria, people of the world. My name is P. Swafo, and I'm the creative director of NVP Fashion World. NVP is a home for Afrocentric fashion wares. We make handbags. We make not just handbags. We make unique and amazing handbags. We make ready-to-wear dresses and accessories. We have different designs from the smallest to the biggest size you'd ever want. We make our bags in leather, we make our bags in Ankara, Ashoke, jute fabric, whatever fabric you want, whatever design, whatever kind of bag, not just handbags, backpacks, laptop bags, travel bag, purses, and we are located in Bariga, 20 Ilaje Road, Bariga, Lagos. We deliver within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So please, wherever you are, remember the name NVP Fashion World. And to add, MVP will be 10 this year, July, and we'll be having our pop sales party on 27th of July 2024. So we'll be expecting people to show up for us at that place. Thank you.
Your social media handles, please?
Instagram, it's at NVP Fashion World, Twitter at MVP Fashion World, and Facebook NVP Fashion World.
All right, so you have heard NVP, and she has given us her background story from start to 10 years. And this is where we will draw the curtain to a close for this episode of How Market. I'm sure you got enough information for the business, for especially those of you that asked the question, how to start. Remember, the Barona Kitchen, now them sponsor this program. And until we meet again, I remain Semo Sinachi, over and out.
In your face, all over the place.
Broadstreet Radio, your number one business radio.